How you like my camera though?
It's nice. That's nice. Yep. So, hey, y'all, we want to make this video. It's myself, Cedrick. I was about to call myself Lanard, but that's Lanard, right? So, we were just talking about F&G, the IUL, and he got me straight on a couple things. So now let's share that with everybody. Okay. So what we're gonna share right now is the F&G Pathsetter and IUL rules, right? So if you apply these rules, it'll work with every carrier. And I'm going to be straight to the point, no chaser. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen and don't worry about all the other tabs that are open. Okay, boom. So all right. We don't need to talk about how to log into if you gotta get to the point where you gotta figure out how to log into F&G, you need to sit with a field trainer. We're not doing that right now. So what we did is we got in when you going to get into running the illustration, this is not like the other carriers where you get is do an illustration, set it up, and go to iPipeline. This what you see right now looks like that currently, where basically this is where you do the design. So when you pull up illustration, it'll come here. We put in Miss Client. That's a generated birthday that we put. The IUL path setter. This is just in case it gets lost in between transition of the submission of the application. Pick the state, pick the product, which you should only have an IUL for F&G unless you're doing annuities. That means you're in the wrong place. And you're gonna pick the path setter, right? So you're gonna do that. We're just doing an illustration, and then we're gonna come over to quotes. I was already in here before, so going straight to it, the information has populated already. You'll put this at their underclass underwriting class, which most are standard non-tobacco. All right, we'll start there and then scroll down just a bit. And then you'll see other options, but this is a pause and rewatch type video. So you're going to put the solve for none. Okay. Don't do what I did and click all this other stuff, else you're just going to be confused. Okay. One thing, the next thing, if you're doing an increasing IUL, you're going to put it on option B. Don't do option A, else it'll be level the same price. Now, we'll talk about this part, right? The death benefit. There's going to be something populated in there already, but I want to come back to that. The next step, once you're going to have the option, none is going to be there. There's going to be a populated face amount right there. Leave that B for right now. Option B for increasing. Don't click none of this because you don't see it click. And then we're going to come down, and most people pay monthly. And then we're going to hit this premium type. You're going to change that to specified varied. So if you don't have it on none, you won't see all of these options. So you have to do none so you can specify the death benefit and you can specify the premium. So in conversation, what we did was the reason why it's specified varied is because we wanted to play with the premiums, right? So what we did, you're going to see a specific number when this opens up. It's going to say zero. Talking to Will Leonard, what wanted to do, we wanted this client to pay $225 a month to age 70. So you click the number that's there. It should say zero. Click it, change it to 225 and select, and then it'll change everything. It'll change every number. And what I realized, I want to go to age 70, and so I open up 71, and then I'm gonna click that one so you can see it, and I type zero in and hit the check mark. I'm type it in just for giggles. Type zero, and it'll change it, right? Now I'm not gonna go back in because we put some hard work in this, so I don't want to mess it up. All right, so once you do that, that means that they will only pay it to that amount. You hit OK, and then it'll specify they paid the premium. The Y is for years, for 25 years. And then when you scroll down, you don't have to mess with anything else unless you're guided to do that, or you call a carrier. If you're trying to go grow this bad boy, it just talks about the allocations. So right now, the allocations that the company carrier recommends, 50% here, 50% there in the BlackRock. Don't use old school MLM methods where you want to under promise and over deliver. Throw that in the trash. So leave these numbers alone. They're what they are, right? They'll outperform over time. So leave those alone. You'll scroll down, you see some items about loans. Leave that alone. Just imagine every time I'm smacking your right hand, and if you left handed, Lenard's smacking the other hand. So leave it alone, right? So then scroll down. Everything else should be fine, but I just put it on printer friendly because I wanted to I want to ensure that that popped up. Scroll back up to the top, and then you're going to do view illustration, right? I did not get to the death benefit, but I wanna show you. I'm gonna go back and show you that. So I'm gonna bring up this the illustration, give it some time. Now here's the deal. I'm gonna bring up a calculator real quick. I'm giving doing a mini class calculator, and I'm gonna bring this over. Lenard, can you see the calculator? All right, so this person's paying 225 a month, right? So 225 times 12. I got a spam caller right now trying to recruit me. So look, see. Anyway, they don't stop. So 225 times 12 is 2,700 for the year, right? So the problem is we need to figure out the death benefit. So looking at that, I want to scroll down. We're gonna give you the answer real quick, but we're gonna take it away. I'm just scroll to the numbers, right? Where's that? All right, scroll up. All right. So you see right here, the premium is 2,700, right? Premium outlay. So what we need to do is figure out what the target is that's going to dictate the death benefit. Like, what's the target, Cedrick? What's the target? All right, so the target right here was 16. We got to 1680, right around it. That's the target. That's what you get paid off of. And where Lenard smacked my hand was this. Let me get to something. You can find this in the TKO website. You can find it in our drive. And here's the overfunding rules, right? So this Miss Client is in her 40s, right? And I kind of had some things flip flop, but there's the 40% rule, right? So Lenard, I'm gonna let you Lenard that get an explanation of it so they can hear exactly where I heard it from you.
Okay. So, excuse me, y'all. How y'all doing? So, if you're 33 or under, you don't have to overfund the policy, right? Because you're at that age where you don't have to overfund it. Once you get to 34 and up to 40, so if you're 30, whatever, think of it as 100%. So 30, you have to get to 100. So you're going to overfund it by 70%. If you see where it said it's highlighted formula monthly times 0.70. So 30, you have to overfund it by 70% to get to the 100%. If you're 40, within your 40s, which this young lady is, you have to overfund it by 60% to get to 100. If you're 50, overfunded by 50%, 60, overfunded by 40%. It's all right there highlighted. So that's what you have to do. So you can, if you're looking at this right here, it says 40% overfund. Okay, don't let that throw you off. If you're in your 40s, you want to get to 100. So how do you get to 100? 60%. Okay, so there you go.
How would I type this on a calculator?
So do
And the premium is 225. Yep.
225. And then let's go with that highlighted version right there where it says formula. And then times 60.60, or if you got a 60%, you do got a 60%. So either 0.60, yep, times 12.
Oops, I must did that wrong. My
Nope.
bad.
So 225. You can do it like that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Then
And
times
then
12. Okay. So that's what you're going to get paid off of your target, but the client is overfunding it by what? What did we say? Say 2,700?
yep.
Was that it?
It was 2,700. Over that's the premium for the entire year is the
Right.
2,700. Right.
Yep. But she's overfunding it. Her real target is $1,620, but she's overfunding it by a lot more, right? So I mean, that's what it
That's
is
what it
right there.
is.
That's what it is.
Right.
So
Almost a
this
thousand
is
some
what's best
dollars.
for your client right here. This is what's best for your client, where you're making sure they're in a good policy and they're overfunding it. It's not gonna lapse on them. They're gonna have this policy, and it's a good policy.
Yep. So appreciate that. So what we did was in order to now we saw that it was 1620. You get as close to it as you can. You try not to like spades, you try not to bust over, but then you get as close to that as possible. So what happened was um I was off, right? And usually when you start this process, you're always gonna be off. So then what we did was in order to I want to mess this up on purpose because I already have it saved. And what I started was 60,000, right? Was it not 60,000, Lenore? So 60,000. So I want to change that back to what I had it and what the company it may have just populated as. I want to scroll up and I'm going to go to view print illustration because I need to get to that number that he talked about, right? Because I don't know if it automatically put it perfectly or I need to make the adjustment, right? So I want to scroll down and now look, man, the target premium is $900, which means that it's incorrect. So now, what is the number we need to get to? 1620. So if I go back and I scroll down, and we were here for about 5 minutes, I said, what about 90,000? Went back. I'm just doing this on purpose for time. You either got it or you still catching on, right? But you will catch this. I'm gonna let it load again. Now if it pop up with errors like it did for me, then something's wrong, right? So we're gonna scroll down again, go to that target. Man, 1350. Okay, that could be good, but that ain't what you supposed to be shooting for. We shooting for 1620, right? Now we're gonna go back and what we found was a happy medium for to save time in this, and we'll wrap up right here. We got it to 112,000, and we don't want to do like crazy numbers like 11,000, 111,397. Nobody care about that. Just get it to a nice the best even number, and you'll go back, let that bad boy load, and this is how you get to the target. Now we showed you this awesome company of fidelity and guarantee, right? But this is the same rules that you apply to any of the carriers. Now it was 1620. We went over by what 60. That's gonna be completely fine, right? Because you're overfunding it. And just so you know at the bottom, sometimes this on some illustrations, what are you doing? Whatever, I'm not gonna name other carriers. Sometimes they put the points, the target points down here, what you get paid off of or whatever, right? Or in the corner. But right now, that's what we're looking at. It's the 1680. So with
I got
that,
one thing said
yes.
before you end the recording. So this is so you just saw real time, everybody. Me and Cedric or Cedric going through this. This is what we just did like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. So this is what you want to do for your clients to make sure they're in the best possible product for them, and you don't want to cheat yourself either, right? You want to make sure that they have the best product and that you get paid what you should be getting paid. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we here to do. But it took me and said what, 10 minutes maybe? Just
10,
playing around with it.
10 minutes. It took
That's it.
longer, probably took longer to log in and reset the password and now they get the little, yeah.
Yep,
So
but ten minutes to make sure your client is in the best thing and make sure you as an agent are getting, because this is financial services. What are you doing? You're helping your client, you're helping yourself with your pockets also. So don't cheat yourself.
don't
Treat yourself.
treat yourself. And if
Yep.
you fail to apply those rules, then they gonna be treating you, the agent, because the policy could possibly lapse. Don't expect a magical call saying, hey, you made a mistake, please adjust it. Sometimes the carrier will do that. Or sometimes if you make a mistake, it'll still be approved because not only you looked at it, the client looked at it and you had them sign a bad illustration. And now Lanard and Cedric are replacing your policy, right? But let's be on the same team. So with that, that is the class. Please give us a like, subscribe wherever you saw this. Hoo hoo, some kudos because there's a client that's about to make some good money with this product, and please apply that to any carrier that you write, especially with Fidelity and Guarantee. Yep.